Hello, welcome to my podcast, the Blockout Podcast. And today, my first guest is my special, close, awesome friend, Renee, the style coach.
Hello.
I'm gonna start by apologizing because I was like texting at 11 p.m. saying, "Oh, by the way, this is gonna happen," and you showed up. You always
I
show
showed
up.
up. I got it early this morning and I got some time.
I appreciate that. So I'm gonna start with actually talking about the Blackout podcast is based on my residency at CFAT, and whenever you see a document that's redacted, it's always the important things that get blacked out. But I'm turning that upside down by making the things that get blacked out are the unimportant things, and the things we see the important things. So that's what I'm doing with my residency here, and I'm bringing that into the podcast where when I talk to my guests, I go to the depths and dig for the important information. And like, I love talking with you because there's so much there to you, and like, you're so well rounded. I'm just always going to start talking about how this whole style thing started for you.
Okay. Well, my style coach business started because I was a dental assistant for 23 years and it was not my passion. And my passion was very much into design or styling, and I'm very artistic that way, and I always need to create. And when I got the opportunity to leave dentistry and to start my own business, I just thought it made sense to style people. I was already doing it anyway with my friends and family, and then it extended to their friends and family. So um, I was able to start my own business called the Style Coach, and it's been great. It's People have been really responding well to it, and a lot of people didn't think that there would be a need in the Maritimes for that, but there is. A lot of people, want the confidence and they want to look put together, and they want to look, great for their job and represent the company well. And that's when I come in. I help them tie everything together.
Mm. And I'm gonna start. I think the last styling you did was for these two dancers. You want to tell me a little bit more about that?
Yes, they're musicians. They are folk artists. Their name is Anne Janelle and James Hills. And they're a couple who play the ukulele and the cello. And this year they were shooting for a Christmas video at a cathedral. And Janelle reached out to me and wanted some styling. She wanted to, she really has a low key, simple kind of look, which is very bohemian style. And very authentic and very vintage look. And because we had the opportunity to shoot in a cathedral church, and it is Christmas time, I just thought it'd be a great opportunity to glam it up a little bit and make it more polished and, still honoring her style in the bohemian style of things and keeping things simple. So, what we went with in this styling design, we put James into a black suit with a white crisp shirt with no tie, just kind of like that, Johnny Depp look with the collar up and everything, because he kind of has that look to him with the glasses and his hair. It's pretty cute. And Janelle is such a natural beauty, and anything and everything did look great on her. But I did choose a dark navy lace dress for her um, while she was playing the cello, because it just really had a nice contrast against, the color of the church, with the instruments that they were playing. And I also kept everything authentic for her while keeping her hair still simple into a, loose braid and soft makeup. And it just, tied everything together. They sounded like angels. It was a beautiful video. And in the end, they were really happy with it. They were kind of scared, maybe afraid that it would look like Hollywood glamour a little bit, but it really just, fit all together, and everybody just looked amazing. So I'm really happy about the results.
That's great. Um, and I always like linking back because I know your mom is a heavy influence in your styling. Do you want
Yes.
to talk a bit about that?
Yes. Well, my mom is the original style coach, I think, because she did teach me, how to be the best dressed version of yourself and the best person as well, with kindness. And, how she always taught me that how you dress like really shows how you feel. And my mother is a very happy person. She's kind, she's giving, she really loves to help people. And she was taught by her mother as well to always put her best foot forward. So my mother, whether she walked out of the bedroom, Just waking up in the morning, she just always looked put together, whether it was the pajamas she was wearing or whether it was an apron while she was cooking on Saturday morning. She just always looked her best self. And the reason for that is because she chose the clothes that flattered her body the best. And she is a cute little redhead. So she has nice, beautiful, bold colors that she can wear that can
Mm.
really accentuate her petite body and her color palette. So she always stayed in that genre, and she always stayed into that rule, I guess, to look your best. So whether it was the mailman, ringing at the door early in the morning, or whether we were having people just showing up for supper last minute, she always, looked like she was ready to go to maybe not a gala, but she was always ready, ready for anything. So, she taught me the importance of that, and it did. It changed the way that, it changed it actually had an influence on what I attracted in my life as for positions and jobs and potential jobs, and also the people I attracted in my life,
Mm.
because how you feel is really shown through the image of what you show people, which is through style. So I think that's very important to consider when you're getting dressed in the morning or when you're going to an event or anything like that.
So like with winter, it's kind of easier for people to dress up for summer, but winter, what are some things people should look out for when they're dressing in winter?
Well, winter for me is pretty easy because it's always dark colors. You try to really honor the seasons with the colors. Even if your color palette is in the pastels, you could go a little bit darker in the winter because that is kind of like the typical rule for winter. You got the dark purples and the reds and the burgundies and things like that. So and of course black is worn the most, I think, in winter as well, just because the stores, I find boutiques and stores just offer a lot of black in the wintertime, not as much print as in the summer. And it's really easy to dress for winter for me because sweaters are always in and people are always cold and freezing and you
Mm.
want to be comfortable. So, and luckily 2018, 2019, it's all about the sweaters, whether you're wearing a skirt or jeans or pants or dress pants. It's just all about the sweaters and the turtlenecks. So sweaters are easy, and jackets, if you want to invest in something like, for my job as a personal stylist, I work outside the home. So I go to the mall and boutiques a lot and I go to people's homes. So often I'll just wear, something all in black with maybe a pop of print or color. And it's the jackets and the boots really that make the whole outfit in the wintertime because you're mostly running in and out outside and back into the home.
You said boots, which is a times you should wear short boots, long boots. Is that based on what you're wearing or?
Yeah, I think that's really important. I think nowadays the style and the trend is the really high boots, right above the knee. I don't think that that style is for everybody, especially somebody who's very short, 5 feet or under. It really shortens their body and it also lengthens the legs and gives the look of a shorter torso. So it can really, make your body look unproportionate. So really want to balance the body is the key. So people who can get away with the long boots are people who are tall. You want to, try to balance your torso to your legs. So if you're going to wear black boots, maybe wear black leggings or black pants so that it can stretch your leg versus cut it at a odd place and then make your leg look shorter than your torso, which kind of looks weird to the eye
Mm.
and it looks strange. So also the ankle booties, I love the ankle booties personally, just because long boots have been in forever, and I think everybody has at least two, three, four, five pairs of those. So ankle booties are great because if you're wearing long pants, then you can choose a different color if you'd like in the boot because it won't break your leg. It won't shorten your leg or make it look again strange. I don't, sorry. so
No, that's
anyway,
okay.
yeah, it does matter. It does matter by your height,
And then
and
with every what are outfits everyone should have like at least one of in their closet? Like for male, for guys, and for for ladies.
I think a crisp white shirt is always important because you can dress it up or dress it down. For ladies, ladies can wear it with classy black pants with a pair of cool jeans and bling it up with, jewelry, and a pop of like color on their lip if they want to go from work to evening. Um, Men, same thing. They can wear it to a business reunion or a business meeting with dress pants, and also switch it to with the jeans, and maybe even with the jeans pop a blazer. Blazers are really good to have in the home as well, or in your closet I should say. They're really important to have in your closet because it's kind of like a jacket that you can wear everywhere, that and it's cold too if you're not going to be wearing a sweater, especially women. If you're wearing, a cutoff short sleeve, then you're going to want, either a cardigan or a blazer to go with that in the wintertime for sure. But the crisp white shirt, I think, is something that everybody should have in their wardrobe, and it needs to be fitted. It needs to fit your body.
Okay.
For the men, it should be slim and really, fit your body well, not too big. And the same thing with women. Women, it shouldn't be too big either, but not too tight either, because you want those buttons and that line to stay straight. So,
Okay.
hmm
And then so what's your process entirely like from a person says, "Oh, I saw your website or I saw the billboard on the street and I'd love to work with you." What's the sequence from beginning to end?
Usually, people will either give me a call or they'll send me an email. I prefer calls. If they do send me an email, I will offer them a free consultation on the phones, because it's a lot easier to just discuss on the phone what their style needs are. There's just so many different ways that this session can go. So typically, they'll always ask me the first question: "What exactly do you do?" And the reason for that, because nobody really knows what a personal stylist does, because we don't really have one here in the Maritime that does it the way I do it, which is kind of like that show typically that a lot of people used to watch, What Not to Wear on TLC. I kind of do that. I do the same thing. So basically, I will offer them either a makeover of their closet, which would be, making outfits from head to toe, taking photos and creating an album so that they can dress easily in the morning. They won't have to fuss in the morning anymore. And it also helps them really use everything that they have and wear everything they have in their wardrobe, because a lot of things tend to get missed, and you get your favorites and they kind of tend to work their way up in front of the wardrobe, and
Everything.
then there's a lot of stuff in the back that you haven't seen for a while. So
Yeah.
you want to use everything that you have. And also offer shopping services, so one-on-one shopping, which where I will go ahead and do the pre-selection on my own after I've seen their wardrobe or seen or reviewed their questionnaire with them, and that I know what their style needs are. I'll put everything aside for them, and they'll meet me in the afternoon, and we'll do a try-on session for about 3-4 hours where they will learn, and I will teach them how to dress for their body type, their color palette, and also, what looks best on them and why certain things don't look good on them. And that's where really the magic happens.
Mm.
And some people want total makeovers, like from their look and wardrobe right up to hair and makeup. So I will also recommend with photo images through a style assessment. I will send images and photos of my recommendations for hair and makeup for them that I think would look really cool on them and bump up their look. So usually I do have packages that are already created to help the client really, you know, gain everything that they can gain out of our sessions, and also leave our sessions with confidence that they can maintain their look and maintain their shopping and everything once I'm gone. Or we can also create a personalized or customized package for them that will just fit their needs better. So usually we'll have the phone call. We'll decide on the package. They'll direct me, and I'll kind of recommend certain sessions, and then we'll book the appointments. And within a week, usually we're done. I'll usually see them once or twice, maybe 3 times in that week,
Mm.
depending what the session is. Because the shopping session is pretty much a full day for me, but half a day for the client.
Mm-hmm.
And just that half a day of trying things on is very tiring for them. Like, people don't know that shopping is a sport. You need to bring water and snacks, and so that nobody gets hangry during our sessions. And usually we'll take a day in between, and then I'll go into their wardrobe like 2 days later, and we'll finish it up
Mm.
with the album. So
What's the album?
the album is the album of the outfits that I will create with
Oh,
the
okay, okay.
existing wardrobe that they have, plus the new purchases that they have, so that they can wear everything: jewelry, shoes, purses, blazers, sports jackets, whatever, for men and women as well.
Mm.
I will create the lookbook. They'll have about, people think they have maybe, 10, 12 outfits in their wardrobe, but when I'm done, it's usually within 30 to 100 outfits that they actually have that they're not wearing
Oh
in their
yeah.
wardrobe. So, a lot of people, if they're just doing the closet cleanse, what that is that we're doing, or a closet revamp really is what it's called. When we take photos of every single outfit, you're basically shopping from your own wardrobe. So there's a
Mm,
lot of things that you didn't remember you have. There's a lot of things you weren't wearing because you didn't know how to put it together.
mm,
And that's where I come in and I help them, be efficient and save money there.
yeah.
So, and then, they wear it for a couple of years. The outfits are so great that people want to see them in that outfit again. And then when it's worn out or when you're tired of it in a couple of years, then you just revamp your wardrobe again.
Mm.
Hmm.
So, from what you're saying, it's like a week for the whole, pretty much from beginning to end,
For
and
the larger packages, it is. If we do the total makeover, it would be I would go into their wardrobe just to take a look at what they have, make a list of things that they need to complete their wardrobe, and also make a list of the things that they want or need. And I will go off shopping one day on my own, and then they'll come and meet me that afternoon. So that's one day is the shopping session,
mm,
and then usually the client is quite tired the next day, as I am as well, because it is a
mm,
big day of,
mm-hmm,
trying things on and you're really not stopping all day.
yeah,
Some people get sore and they just want that extra day to rest.
mm-hmm,
So let's say we do the first shopping session on a Monday, then usually on Wednesdays, I'll go to their home and then we'll do the closet revamp, which is the outfits of everything that they have
uh,
bought and as well as what they have in their wardrobe. So I bring my professional camera with me.
mm-hmm,
I take all these photos. I show them how to, which jewelry looks better, which certain shirts, which hairdo you should create with this look, and then create it all in an album. And then on the third day, I will work from my home, which is I have a home office, which I will create their style assessment, which is about 10 to 15, 20 pages of information of all the things that we talked about, all the style tips, how to dress for your body type,
mm,
images of that, images of how to put outfits together, color palettes, a place of boutiques and shops that I like to shop at for specific things, and everything that they need to continue and maintain their look when I'm gone.
mm,
So usually that client will learn that style assessment. They will, educate themselves a little bit more through that,
mm-hmm,
so that next time they go shopping, it's a lot easier for them. They know what they're looking for. They're not spending hours and wasting time on things that they might not like once they get home.
yeah,
So it's a lot more efficient and it saves them time and money.
okay.
Hmm.
One of the things I'm trying to block out with this interview is the bullshit that if you have a passion and you follow it, it's gonna it's just gonna find a way to work out. But what I've learned is in if you have a passion and you just kind of play around around it and you don't take it serious or you're not putting in the work, then you're just kind of fooling yourself really. So how was your transition from being a dental assistant for this long, being good at your job and saying, you know what, I'm calling it a day and I'm following my passion and I'm actually going to make a living from it?
Well, I think that when you create your own business, you have to be passionate about it, and you have to also be creative. And especially if you don't have the background in business and you're just starting it from scratch like I did, I tend to live my life and listen very much to my intuition. And I think most artists, do that. And when you listen to your intuition, then that's when the creativity flows and comes out. And then we're guided in the right direction and the right people are put on our path to make that happen. So if you're always keeping a positive, outlook, and you always have that goal of what you want in your business, then I do believe that things will come to you, but you have to act upon them.
Mm,
So a lot of people think, like you said, you can't just sit on your ass and just wait for somebody to show up, or you have to put the work. You have to go on social media. You have to have that website. You have to put yourself out there.
mm,
That's the thing that I lived in Moncton, New Brunswick. That's where I started my business 4 years ago. And being a dental assistant for 25 years, I knew a lot of people. And I was well known in the community. And so starting this business, it was easy for me to start because everybody knew about it
mm-hmm,
because I knew a lot of people. But at the same time, the whole social media thing, I had no choice to be on social media. I am my brand. I had to do the photo shoots. I had to be on camera, and I didn't really enjoy that side of it as much as people think I do. I am quite reserved and I like to keep things to myself. I like things personal. But at the same time, I had to put myself out there and I had to show people who I am
Mm,
and in order to sell my brand.
mhm.
So, social media, like I said again, and just knowing the right people and putting in the work and learning, right, reading all the books that you can read about it and just never stopping. The minute you stop, then things don't flow
Mm,
and the clients don't come.
mhm.
So that's what I've noticed about it too. So, I have always done other projects on the side as well. And when I put too much effort on the other side of things, that's when my clientele is kind of like, not as full as it could be.
Mm.
So you really have to have like a business plan and really have it set out in the way of, try to create it in the way that works for you and really honor that and honor yourself and also honor your health and your time
Mm.
as well as to balance, like family and friends at the same time because you don't want to, start your own business and then all of a sudden you're so busy, you're working 50, 60 hours a week and then
And
you
that's
don't
the
have
thing I was going
time.
to ask. How do you find that balance?
I've always put in the time for friends and family and for myself. And the reason for that is like I'm older and wiser now. I'm in my 40s. So early on in my career in dental, I worked for a dentist that was a workaholic and we worked 50 to 60 hours a week. I barely had lunch and supper. And I started working when I was 18 years old. So by the time I was 25, I already had my first burnout. So, I was way too young to be burnt out.
Yeah.
And, my body couldn't keep up because I wasn't keeping it healthy, didn't have time to go to the gym, didn't have time to eat properly. And then, I continued to work for the same person and it just continued. My health just kept on decreasing. And at 30, the same thing happened again. So then I thought, okay, well, I can't just keep on working for somebody else's business and give my 120%.
Mm.
And what do I get out of it, right? I'm
Mhm.
making more money, but to spend into health and to try to get better. So I wasn't really getting ahead.
Yeah.
So when the opportunity came to start my own business, that was one thing that I really wanted to honor. I wanted to honor me and
Mm.
my health
Mhm.
mentally and physically and spiritually and everything. And I wanted time to balance that with friends and family but also give everything I could to my clients. So I created a system that when I am working, I'm working really hard. And when I'm not working, well, I'm vacationing or partying very hard. So
Uh,
I
uh,
like to have a nice balance in my life.
so here's my thing. What advice would you give for someone that's thinking of, say, maybe quitting a job or just balancing a job and following their passion? Say someone that's creative. What advice would you have for that person?
My advice would be to follow your gut, follow your intuition, and really, you really have to do the research. You really have to see, if it's worthwhile to put the time and effort into this passion and try to create it in a way that you will succeed. You want to succeed at what you do. Everybody wants to succeed. You have to have a business plan. You have to educate yourself and you have to surround yourself with the right people that's going to help you bring you to where you want to be. So, for me, it was really just following my intuition, following what I love to do, being creative. Don't limit yourself. And, if it takes time because you need to save financially, or if you have to take a loan or whatever it is, then do that. Just make sure that, you're going to stay healthy while you're doing that. You don't want to burn yourself out. You don't want to stress yourself out to the point that, your passion now turns into a job.
Mm.
You don't want that. You want to continue to love what you're doing, and put your heart into soul into everything that you're doing. And I think that if you do that, it will work out for you. Always put your best foot forward, and ask questions and ask for help if you have to.
And you stay quite positive, and sometimes life isn't always roses. How do you stay positive when things are going to shit?
Well, um, I have a dog at home actually who balances me out and who keeps me sane. You need things in your life to balance um, the shit and the good, right? So you need to stay active. You need to stay healthy. You need your friends and family around you to support you. You need the right people around you to support you when you do something like this. And for me, luckily, I have that. And the ones that weren't really supportive and that who didn't believe in me or didn't think that I could do this, well, they're not really around anymore because, it's not because I don't love them. I choose to love them from a distance,
Mm.
really, instead of just cutting them out. And that's very important. And just, continue to do what you love. You need a balance in life. You just need a balance.
So do you ever just not do you ever just cut people out, or you always just keep the distance?
It starts by I start creating distance with the people that I find that are very, really negative in my life.
Mm.
Mostly the way it will happen, it'll naturally, organically happen because when those people come to you, they want to be fed with that negativity. So really, I just listen and I don't say anything. And after a while that you don't say anything,
Mm.
you're not good to them anymore because you're not giving them what they want. So they just move on to the next person, and it just organically happens that they kind of move along to the next person and they're not really in my surroundings anymore. But it
Mm.
doesn't mean that I don't love them. It doesn't mean that I won't encourage them. I will, when it's really needed and the time is there. But people really know that, I don't really like bullshit anyway, and I'm really straightforward and I'm a very honest person. So
Mm.
I tend to see people now not really ask me, any specific questions because they know I'm going to tell them the truth. And most people don't really want to hear the truth. So those people, like, I've kind of been blessed in that sense that I'm really surrounded with the right people that we can all encourage each other.
Mm.
Hmm.
Mm. And so any last words
Well,
in general, really?
just in general, I
Mm-hmm.
just think that, one thing that's really important and that I find that people don't put enough emphasis on themselves. I mean, especially mothers, they put everything into their family, into their children, and men too. They, work hard at work to bring, the money in or either to, support the whole family. And it's really important to take care of yourself, not just physically and mentally, but, you want to give the right impression when you meet people, whether
Mm-hmm.
you're at work, whether even if it's, even if you've been married for a long time, remember that your wife or your husband, like, they saw you at your best self when they first met you. So, down the road, it's really important to keep that up
Mm.
because, that's how things start changing. You don't want things changing into a negative. You want things to keep on moving in a positive direction. Same thing at work. Some people, they would put the effort in to promote that business that they're working for or to, represent the company, and they would, do their hair and makeup in the morning and wear, the polished, crisp shirts. But then after a while, they get lazy and they roll out of bed and they don't really care about the hair and makeup anymore. And then it
Mm.
starts showing, right? When you have stress in your life, it shows as well.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that I found to help me when I'm going through difficult times in my life
Mm.
is my clothes. When I dress well and I feel that I look good, I feel good. So it does change my posture. It changes the way I interact with people during the day. Even
Mm.
if I'm having a bad day, most people probably won't know because of the way I look,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm choosing to look it before feeling it. Sometimes you have to do that first. Of course, it's from the inside out, but sometimes you got to work, from the outside in. So I think it's really important that people just start taking a better look at themselves and what they're trying to say to the world. And, style speaks.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you saying? And I like to help people, discover their style language.
Okay. Actually, I said that was the last one. But what's style language?
Style language would be, well, if you're if you see somebody coming down the street and you see them wearing, I don't know, gym pants and no makeup and a shirt that's dirty with coffee on it and sneakers that aren't laced and maybe, they look like they just rolled out of bed, what do you see? Everybody has a first impression.
Mm.
First impressions matter. You never know who you're going to meet.
Mm-hmm.
So if you see somebody that looks like that, to me, oh, they look sad, they look tired. Maybe they're going through a rough time. Maybe they're just lazy. Maybe they don't care about life. Maybe, but maybe that another person that would feel the same way might dress up like I'm dressed up today, and put their makeup on and do their hair. And, it only takes 5-10 minutes more of your time. I think showers are very important. That should be the number one thing that everybody should do in the morning, of course. But somebody who walks out looking good, eventually they will feel good and their attitude will show. Even if, maybe I'm moody and I'm not smiling.
Mm,
Well, if I look good, they're still going to look at me and say, oh, she looks put together.
mhm.
She's probably on her break, or maybe she's got a headache today, but she's probably a professional, or everybody has an opinion, and it matters because you never know who you're going to meet.
Mm,
And especially if you're going to interviews, especially if you're going on first dates, or even if you're just going to the mall, you never know who you're going to meet.
yeah.
I met a special somebody just recently at the mall, and I'm very, very glad I put my makeup on that day. And I had, my hair was nice, because if I didn't, I probably wouldn't have had the confidence to look back and smile,
Mm.
and then, develop this new relationship that I have now in my life, which I'm very thankful for. So, I think that everybody should put their best stuff forward, because it can only bring you positivity.
Thank you very much, Renee, for coming and for taking your time out and for replying my 11 p.m. text.
You're very welcome. Anything for you, Israel. I'm always here.
Thanks.
Thanks for having me.